Rosenfeld arrived in the United States in 1939, not knowing a single word of English. Having fled Nazi Germany as a Polish Jew, he tells his story of his journey to the top of American journalism with honesty. Harry Rosenfeld began writing his memoirs, From Kristallnacht to Watergate, memoirs of a newspaperman, for his family.
And I've lived through various levels of intimacy of two very significant ones, which create the title of my book. So to that sense, yes, I have lived through history. But even if I didn't live through Kristallnacht, and even if I didn't live through Watergate as an active newspaperman, I lived through a lot of history in my 80 years.
At age 9, on Kristallnacht, just weeks after his own father had been arrested and deported to Poland, he insisted to his mother that he had to see the synagogue where he was attending school burn.
And I saw it burn, and I saw the smoke rising out of its Moorish dome, and I saw the German firemen in full equipment standing at the ready, not to put out the flames, but to make sure that adjacent properties, non-Jewish properties, would not be harmed. I saw the streets littered with the glass shattered from Jewish businesses, and so I have a pretty vivid memory of that time.
In a stroke of luck, the entire Rosenfeld family received some of the few quota numbers allowing them to emigrate to the United States, arriving May 16, 1939. Just over 100 days later, World War II officially began. For Harry Rosenfeld, it was an opportunity to become something new, an American.
I knew enough, even as a 9-year-old, to know that Germany wasn't my country. And it wasn't only because I was of Polish nationality. It was because I was a Jew, and it wasn't my country. They had made that perfectly plain. And I couldn't get rid of all the vestiges of my German boyhood, including the German language, which I made a studied effort to totally forget, and speak only English.
Harry Rosenfeld did not want to become a dentist, his mother's preference, nor did he want to join his father's trade, furs. Desiring a life in public service, he chose journalism, eventually hired at the Washington Post as part of the efforts to improve the quality of the newspaper. He was the editor who oversaw the reporting on Watergate, following the money, as Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein wrote, until the day President Nixon resigned.
It's in the Constitution, and he violates that by not executing faithfully the laws. And as more and more of these revelations come out, of course it's shocking. And that's what makes his crimes so disturbing. It isn't that all our other presidents were such people of noble habits or behavior, that they didn't do bad things, but none of them did the kind of bad things that this man did.
To this day, Harry Rosenfeld is still writing a regular column, now for the Albany Times-Union newspaper. At the end of his memoirs, Harry Rosenfeld concludes that newspapering is his life and he is happy in it. But he is also convinced that his early experiences in Germany helped shape his life and his career. This is Priscilla Huff for JN1 in Washington.